Well, howdy there, guys. This is your host, ID Jester. We're going to be starting a new Let's Play here called Commander the Great War. Obviously, this is a World War One game. This is more of a strategic game. You can find out more information about this on the um, publisher's websites, which happen to be Slytherin and Matrix Games. In fact, here is the information here. It's actually produced by the Lord's Game Studio. Hopefully I'm saying that right. They did a great job of creating this game. It's a version 1.6.6, so we got the most up-to-date, and of course there is the information on the publishers, Slytherin Games and Matrix Games. So fine publishers that they are. Anyways, just a thing of note, if we go into the options here and the audio, I actually have the music turned off and I've got the sound down as low as it'll go except for off. Unfortunately, these volume controls don't seem to work properly because when I turn it on just one little notch, you will hear the volume come in, and it's a little bit louder than I would like it to be. So there's like no slider or anything that I can adjust. It's really good music, and normally I would play it with it on during the game because it does give you that kind of vibe of distraughtness and desperation and everything. So just keep that in mind. Great music that comes with it. Unfortunately, we're just not going to play it with it because otherwise you won't be able to hear what I'm saying. A lot of the times it'll just be distracting in the background. As far as the sound volume, again, I could turn it off, but I know you guys want to hear what's going on and stuff. So while the turns are actually taking place and we're doing attacks, even though I'm on the lowest volume I can possibly get it on, I'll just try to be quiet during that time and then talk about what had happened afterwards because even on low it seems to be kind of loud and I don't think you can hear over the actual sound effects going on. But I do want you to be able to hear those. Again, real good music, real good sound. I just wish there was more of a slider system so we could adjust that a little bit better. Anyways, we're going to be playing a full game. If we go into single player here, we can play a game from 1914, 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever, however long you want to play. We're actually going to play the Great War from 1914 on. Of course, you can save your campaign and load it up later. You can play as the Entente Allies. I believe I'm saying that correctly. It's kind of a French word. So it's like Entente or something close to that. So apologize if I'm saying that slightly wrong. I think it's like Entente Allies. Or you can play as the Central Powers. We're going to play as the Allies. And then you can adjust the ally strength, give them a handicap, balance, or privileged. We're going to give them a handicap because, I've played some of this game when I first got it. Just a little bit, not a lot. And then haven't played it for a while, and I was playing it earlier, and then I decided, well, if I'm going to play, I might as well just record it for you guys, and guys might be interested. There's a nice movie you can watch. It kind of gives you the background information. And let's see, if we click on the information here, it's kind of a, paragraphs about what had happened and what caused the start of the war and everything. So again, we're going to play as the Allies, handicapped. We are going to enable tutorial messages. Again, I'm not an expert at this game. I've played it a little while. I've enjoyed everything I've had with my time with this. Unfortunately, I wish I had more time. But we're going to try and squeeze in a nice Let's Play.
The Serbian army is ill-equipped but battle-hardened from the Balkan Wars and has taken up positions in mountainous terrain. The Austrians have numeric superiority, but will soon have to face the Russian army in the east.
All right, see what I was talking about with the volume there. So you can zoom out, as you can see right now. This is what we see, beautiful looking map. And of course, we can zoom in. This is as close as we can zoom in, no closer. So that's as far out, but you can kind of get a broader overview of this way. And so here it is. Here's our map. So obviously, with the start of 1914 campaign, Austro-Hungary is attacking Serbia. So um, Austro-Hungary and Serbia. Most people, I guess, I'm not a World War One expert, so please forgive me. But it's like nobody really like I guess, jumped on the side of Serbia or Austria-Hungary. The problem arose when Germany joined Austria-Hungary. And as soon as they joined Austria-Hungary, that caused everyone else to go, oh, wait a minute now. Um, anyways, there are some really cool mechanics in this game. You can see down here right now, we only see one country because that's the only one that's actually in the war, Serbia. We have production points, PPs. We have 28 production points. We have 420 manpower. We have 12 ammunition. We have one railroad capacity. We have zero ship transport, and we have national morale of 138%. That's the willingness of your people to continue fighting for their cause. So production points, what we do with production points, there are several things we can do with production points. Number one, if we go to, oh, I actually have to click on the start game before I can show you all this. So let's go ahead. Again, I'm going to kind of be quiet because they're going to be doing an attack, and then we'll talk about things once that's over. So let's get it on. All right, so that was turn one of 118. So, yes, this could be kind of a long game. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below. If nobody's interested in this, I don't have to play it or record it for you guys. So, if you do enjoy this replay, let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up so I know that people are watching it. So it's turn one of 118. It's 23rd of July, 1914. No events happened. No deployments. Yada, yada, yada. And we can save it or continue. We'll just go ahead and continue. All right, so now what I was talking about is so we have these production points and manpower and ammunition. Ammunition is used anytime you use artillery, you use up one of your ammunition. So it's kind of an abstract thing about keeping, not letting artillery just kind of dominate unless you have lots of ammunition. Railroad capacity to allow your guys to travel really far and transport on the sea, and again, your national morale, which is your willingness to fight. So right now, we are the only country we are is the Entente, something like that. Apologize again if I'm mispronouncing that. Is Serbia, and we're getting attacked by the monster that is known as Austria-Hungary. So obviously, what we have to do is we have to just basically hold on as best we can until Russia joins the war and starts pushing, and they're going to have to pull some units away from Serbia, and hopefully Russia can put some pressure on them so that Serbia doesn't fall, and we'll have other things happening along the way. So if you click on a unit here, it gives you all the information. This is a garrison unit. These are kind of low-level troops. Each of them have all of these statistics here. So base defense, their high defense, I'm not sure the difference between those. Their entrenchment level, which is obviously very, very important in World War I. That's how dug in they are. Their efficiency, Then their ground attack, their air attack, naval attack, armor piercing, shock value, assault value, ammunition, strategic value, range, movement points, line of sight, and quality. Being dug in is very important for us. Yeah, that's the units. If you lose your capital, you're basically you're not out of the war, but you won't be able to do much. You're kind of capi- capitulated at that point. So we try not to lose our capital here, which I believe is Zhonalov. I believe is what our capital is. Is that correct? Nope. I guess I'm not sure about that. Maybe it is this one down here because it's got the star. So again, I'm not a World War II. I'm kind of a World War II buff. I'm not a World War One expert, but I know a little bit. So apologize if I get some information wrong or whatever. You guys can teach me along the way, right? So obviously, if we move units, we're going to lose all their entrenchment levels. So you can see this guy here is an entrenchment level 13. So we don't want to move this guy. He's dug in. He's going to be harder to take damage from the enemy to attack them. This guy, has only got an entrenchment level 3. This guy's got an entrenchment level of 3. This guy is got an entrenchment level of 0. So obviously we can move him and not have to worry about that. This guy's got entrenchment level 4 and 4. These guys obviously aren't entrenched, and of course artillery and blah blah blah. All right, so what do? Well, on your turn, you can move your units around and you can attack. And what you can do is click on your units, and if you move it over an adjacent ally unit, you can see these little arrows. And basically what that means is these two units will swap positions. So you want to be careful when you're hovering over extra units. If you position your mouse cursor over an enemy unit, you will see on the left-hand side the garrison unit that's in green in the top left-hand corner right there is our unit, and it will show you the combat prognosis. And you can see we have an attack value of 5, a defense value of 7, shock value is 0. The enemy is also a garrison unit. It has a attack value of 5, a defense of 11, shock value is 0, and the prognosis is in green 1, which means we will do 1 step point of damage to the enemy, and the red 2 means the enemy will do 2 points of step losses. So what do I mean by step losses? Well, you can see right here, 10, that's basically how many step losses we have for this unit. When it goes to 0, then the unit's eliminated. Most of them you see started at 10, but you see this guy was attacked a couple times and is already down to 7. So he's already been injured. A couple more attacks, he might get, completely removed. The importance of that is you can actually repair your units on the battlefield with your production points. So some of the things you can do with your production points are you can buy new units. So we can buy garrisons, infantry, cavalry, and artillery. And they'll take a certain amount of production points and a certain amount of manpower and upkeep, and it'll take a certain amount of turns to complete it. So that's one thing you can spend your production points on. Second thing is you can put it into production research, in that you can buy more research facilities. So you can see the lab costs 30 production points to get an extra lab. So we can get research on industrial warfare, base defense +4, anti-air defense, air attack +2, barbed wire entrenchment level +1, and a couple other things that are locked. And then, of course, we have artillery technology, which will come in 4 turns, and then naval technology, air force technology, and vehicle technology, which is available to some countries and not to other countries, as you can see by the little message there. So you can spend your production points getting more labs to get better research, but obviously, as Serbia, we are holding on for dear life, so we don't really care about research. We want as many men on the front lines as we can. So if we click on a garrison, you can see it's going to take 2 turns. It's going to take 10 of our production points. We have 28. So we will actually earn +6 next turn. And expected change next turn, extra ammunition +3, and no manpower. We could put in a whole infantry unit, which has got, much better ground attack, much better defense, um, but it's going to take 4 turns. So it's a matter of, do we think we can hold out for 4 turns and get an infantry unit? Because an infantry unit costs 20 production points. So can we hold out for 4 turns, or do we want to buy a couple garrison units, which aren't as good, and get them out sooner? We could do artillery too, but artillery costs 40. We don't have 40. It's going to take us quite a few turns to get up there. So cavalry and artillery is kind of out of the equation at this point. We could get cavalry. The cavalry units aren't as, I guess it would go garrison is your kind of your weakest infantry unit, and then cavalry after that. Cavalry actually has some advantages in it has more movement points, and um, where is the shock value? It has a shock value of 1 as opposed to like infantry has a shock value of 0. So kind of shocks the enemy, wounds their morale a little bit. And I think, does they have a liner? Yes, it also has, cavalry has a line of sight of 3. So there are some advantages to cavalry. They're just not as strong. They only have a base defense of 10. I'm sorry, a base defense of 8. Infantry's got a base defense of 14. So much better defensively than cavalry. Not as much movement points. So again, all these things come into play. The other thing you can spend your production points on, we talked about research. We talked about production, and in production, you can actually get new commanders for yourself. Uh, Obviously, Serbia doesn't have any, but if we look at France and Great Britain and stuff, we will have commanders we can get into the game as well. There is a diplomacy here, which kind of tells you who is on which side. Right now, we have a bunch of neutrals. We have Austria-Hungary is the Central Powers, and Serbia is the Entente allies. That's it. That's actually all that's going on right now. But in a couple turns, that will all change. You can get some information. And then there's management here, kind of an overview of your country, your expended ammunition production, your expanded railroad capacity. You can expand your transport capacity. Kind of gives you economic overview, all that information, your victory conditions, productions, more information over there. It's all weighed out very, very well, very easy. Somebody that hasn't played this game ever should be able to pick it up and get in and play it, no problems, at all. All right, so that's kind of the overview. As I mentioned, there's one more little button down here that is like ultra, ultra important, and I wish they would have actually made this a big button somewhere because it is so important, and that is the activate repair mode. When I go into activate repair mode, you see it turns into like a little wrench, and all my units that can be repaired, and what we mean by repaired is we're basically going to take some of our manpower and our production points, and we're going to put them into that unit and get them back on, back into better working order. So you can see there, if we did this, we can get +3 little men. So basically, we would go from 7 up to 10, and we'd lose 1 production point, and we'd lose 2 manpower. And if we do this, this unit cannot do anything. So it can't attack, it can't move, it can't. It's basically, mm, I think you can actually move, but you just can't attack, I believe. So if you want anybody to be repaired, I think you have to move them first, and then you can repair them. We'll test that theory in a little bit. But since this guy, so let's not do that for a second. So if we go back to our garrison here, he's got an entrenchment level of 4. This guy has an entrenchment level of 3, and this guy has an entrenchment level of 4. So these guys here, this guy could swap places with this guy, but obviously he would lose his entrenchment level. This guy could swap with this guy. He would also lose his entrenchment level, which I don't want to do. So the best thing to kind of keep this guy, he's going to be attacked by multiple regions. We could just move him out of there. And in fact, I think I will do that. Move him out of there. And then let's see if we can actually, oh yes we can. Okay, so you can't attack and then repair, but you can move and repair. So we'll do that. And notice it only went up to 9, even though it said originally it was going to give us +3. So it only went probably these numbers, like 9 or probably like 9.1 behind the scenes or whatever. That's probably why we didn't go up to 10. So we kind of gave up a little bit of space. That's fine. The rest of our units are all at level 10, so we don't have to worry about, repairing anybody else right this second, but next turn we will. But you know what? I am going to produce an infantry unit. I'm going to take a chance that we can hold these guys off. We have 27 points. We can buy one for 20, so we're going to purchase it. Let's just hope that we can hold on for 4 turns against the Austro-Hungary. All right, so again, garrison units are kind of units you just keep in your. There are, by the way, small garrison units, so you see like one figure. Small garrison units are obviously the worst of the worst, but they're basically there to just keep it so that an enemy doesn't come in and just take all your towns because you don't have anybody in them. That's basically what garrison units do. Although Serbia has to get all their garrison units on the front lines because they are, kind of under assault here, and they don't have a chance to worry about everything else. So when I click on this guy, you can see the dots show me where I can go. These little things are um, the railroad, and you can see I can actually move one guy by railroad. So we can use our railroad movement, get this guy up here, put him over here. This is just a garrison unit, so not the best of units. But again, we just want to slow down the enemy as best we can. So we're going to put that guy up there. And again, kind of probably a little bit loud sounds. Apologize for that. Just nothing I can do about it. So we're going to give a little bit of ground to these guys here, and then we're going to pick and choose our fights. So if we click on this guy, you can see if we were to attack this guy, we would do no casualties to them, and they would do 3 casualties to us. Now that's just rough ballpark, okay? So it's not set in stone. We could get lucky. We could do 1 casualty to him. We could get lucky and do 2 casualties to him. Unfortunately, he could also get lucky and do like 4 casualties to us or 5 casualties to us, or maybe only 1 casualty. So these numbers aren't set in stone down here. They'll just give you a rough ballpark that, yep, if we attack this guy, we're not going to do much damage, if any, and he's going to do some damage. We just don't know how much. So bad attack, don't want to do it. This one's a little bit better. We would do 1 point of damage. They would do 2 to us. Again, probably something I'm not willing to trade at this point. I don't need to trade. He needs to trade with me. So this guy here is a 1-2. This guy here, we are actually going to move this guy up here. The reason for this, let me explain that beforehand, is we actually have the artillery unit. Artillery units have a range of 2. So if we can put this guy here on the front lines, that means we can move this guy in here, and he'll have a range of 2 on just about everybody there. Unfortunately, because he moved, artillery can't move and then attack, from what I understand. We do have a cavalry unit. You see, cavalry units can move a lot farther, so they can exploit breakthroughs or surround units, and we're hoping we actually had a really good maneuver in the game I was playing. Unfortunately, I didn't record it, but basically, he brought a guy in, and then we kind of encircled him with our cavalry units. He lost his supply line, and then we were able to take that unit out pretty easily. So I'm hoping to get something similar to that uh, in this fight. So that's a lot of explanation about what's going on. You see, we still have 7 production points. We don't really have anything to save them or spend them on, so we are going to save them. You do want to save them as best you can for those times, because we do need to get back up to 20 if we want another full infantry unit. So, with that said, we can. Oh, the other thing you can actually do, almost forgot. That's why I hate these little tiny buttons. I hate them. You can actually activate upgrade mode. So you can click on a unit, and when you get things researched, you can upgrade different units with the new research. So when they get, better machine guns or whatever, your infantry will be able to go up to the next. They'll have better stats, better, instead of ground attack 5, you upgrade them and they might have a ground attack of 10 or whatever. So again, we don't have to attack. We're just kind of going to be passive, fall back, resist whatever they can throw at us, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so that was start of turn 2 of 118, 30th of July, 1914. No events occurred, no deployments, no developments, and we will leave it on autosave and continue. All right, so you notice some of our guys took 3 points of damage in one attack. There was another guy that took 2 points of damage. Another guy took 3 points of damage. Austro-Hungary has a pretty damaging force. Fortunately, we are mostly dug in at this point. But now we got our artillery in. You see, our artillery will do 1 point of damage to just about anybody it can reach, which is good. So what we have to do is figure out which one of these 3 guys we can maybe get a good attack against. That's not a very good attack. Let's see. Oh, that's not very good either. And that's a 1-1 situation. So that's an even trade-off. If we damage them even further, might give us an advantage. So you can see we only got up to production points of 8. Not very good. So we only went up a couple production points. So we're going to spend these production points on upgrading some of our frontline units. So this guy's a 5, and a couple points there, a couple points there. And we could get this guy up to, what is this? That's just a garrison unit too. All right. So we have most of our units. There are some infantry units. So you can see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on there. We have a little bit. See, there's a 2-2. That's not a bad trade-off. Here's an even better. It's 2 and 1. Now that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get 2 and 1, but that's a good trade-off. So so it's a 1-1 combo. So, oh well. And then we'll take another point off him with our artillery. Oh, actually we took 2 points off him. So that was good. So now weakened him up a little bit. Now Austro-Hungary probably has a lot of points, but if he's got to repair this unit, then they can't attack. So that's good. That's a 1-1 trade-off. That guy was repaired. That guy was repaired. That's a 1-2, a 1-2, and a 1-2. That guy was repaired. That's a 1-2. We could bring our cavalry around to the flank. See if this guy tries to break in on us. But again, I think we're in an okay position. We're down to 5 production points. Let's see what happens. All right, so guess what happened? Germany is allied with Austria-Hungary and declared war on France and Serbia. So basically, Austria-Hungary and Serbia is at war, and then Germany jumps in and says, you know what? I'm going to align myself with Austria-Hungary, and we're going to declare war on Serbia. And hell, let's declare war on France as well, because we don't like French anyways. So that's basically what starts the big global. But France stands tall. Germany's declaration of war does not come as a big surprise. France's armies are confident they can deal with the German aggression. And, of course, Germany decides to attack through Belgium. After refusing of the ultimatum, Germany has declared war on neutral Belgium. The British are outraged and have vowed to assist Belgium in the war. Liège has been captured. Central Power forces have captured the mighty fortress of Liège. I just love these nice little pictures and descriptions and everything, and it's kind of like a nice little news article for you. It's great. So, lots happened here at the start of turn 3, 6th of August. War efforts increased to 95%. France joins the Entente allies. Germany joins the Central. Belgium joins the Entente. No development, and we can save or continue. We will continue, and we will bring you the next episode where we look at France, the Western Front here of Germany and France, and eventually we'll have an East Front as well with Russia coming into the fold. So we've got some situations to deal with. Germany, of course, as you know, in World War One is a powerhouse. Their units are very, very good. 18 defense. If we compare that to a French unit who only has a 14 defense, they both have the same attack value, 10. If we look at the German again, 10 for their infantry units, but they've already got an upgrade on something that gives them better base defense. And I'm sure I don't know about the other statistics as well. So it's very hard for French to get any kind of like a better result on their attacks. So attacking just equally is very hard. But we'll come back and look at that specifically in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching Commander World at War. We'll see you in the next episode.